What's up, squad? And thank you guys so much for tuning in. So guys, this is going to be your August mid-month reading, but before we start, I'm so excited. So one of my clients, shout out to you, Crystal, she got me this, and she's not even a Taurus, and I love it so much. So I'm just like super excited. So I'm just like, squad, and I want to show you guys because hopefully you're just as excited as I am. But let me put this away now. There we go. So guys, this is going to be, we're going to backtrack a little bit. So we are going to do August 15th to about September 15th. So let's see what's been going on and let's hope for the best in the future. Now, I don't know, and let's see, we spoke about this in the last reading. I don't know if you guys have just felt a little bit more pressure than usual. Just astrologically, there was a lot going on, and you know, there's just a lot of signs on edge. So actually around the mid-month in September is when everything starts to just, you know, feel a little bit easier, and all that tension we felt, you know, just dissipates. So that's really, really good. Okay. All right, guys. So let's see what's going on. What is going on for the lovely sign of Taurus, my squad, my everything? What is going on with the sign of Taurus, August mid-month 2018 into September mid-month 2018? We have the Two of Swords in the reverse. Okay, so if there's any sort of difficult decision that you guys had to make, or you're, you know, between a rock and a hard place, I do see you making that decision. So that's always good. A breakthrough is always good. Okay, so we have past, present, and we have future. Awesome. Okay. So the energy that we have here, guys, is the Five of Pentacles in the reverse. So with the Five of Pentacles in the reverse, there's something here where we may have felt rejected, or maybe we rejected someone else. Maybe we felt left out, you know, left in the cold, that sort of feeling, or made another person feel that way. It could have also been a sense of maybe financial struggle that you were going through, but whatever it was, you're getting out of it. Devil card in the reverse. You released yourself from something that was toxic, where you didn't feel like you had a victory. But guess what? If you remove yourself from something toxic, that is a victory, okay? So, yeah, there's just something here that was in your life that with the King of Pentacles in the reverse, you knew that this was something that you could do better without. Or maybe it was something that was holding you back in a financial sense, but you guys dropped that. Okay, so anything that's holding you back, whether it's financial or in regards to just your feelings, you're definitely just holding that back. Okay, you're staying away from it. Now, let's go into your past. So the first card we have for the past is the Sun card. So for some of you, this is something very bright and abundant coming into your life. For others of you, maybe you're dealing with the Leo specifically, but this could just be something, you know, either that comes out, that comes to light, or something that just makes you really, really happy. Okay, and we have the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. So something good comes to you, or some news comes to you, or you stop working on something. Okay, you stop putting effort into something. And with the Eight of Cups in the reverse, maybe some of you had an ex reach out to you, or maybe you reached out to an ex here. Okay, for a lot of you, I don't feel that this is something that you moved forward with. I feel like it's something that you gave up on, where they were heartbroken, you were heartbroken, but you guys made the best call. Okay, if you would have spoken to this person, whether it was a friend, an ex, you know, a family member you fell off with, it would have had a huge effect in your life that I don't see as positive. So the cards say you made the best move by not wanting to involve yourself with that. Okay, And we have the 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. All right, so this could be overspending. This could be, you know, money being tight within the household. It could be a huge loss of abundance that you feel, whether it's monetary or just within your emotions, just within yourself. So let's see why this card is here. We have the Empress card in the reverse. So again, you guys not wanting to move forward with something, feeling like there's just too many losses attached to it. And with the Ace of Swords in the reverse, you cut something out and you cut it off in a very just like screw you sort of way. But with the Ace of Swords in the reverse, this is fighting, this is arguing, you know, this is bickering, this is really saying what's on your mind and just not wanting to move forward with something, okay? Because your soul just felt way too forced here. So good for you guys for listening to yourself. And this is while all the retrograde, you know, BS was going on. So I'm really, really happy that you guys were able to stand, you know, against that. And with the High Priestess, I love this because you're intuitive the whole time. You know, this is when our gut and our soul knows things, even if they haven't necessarily occurred yet, where you can look at a person or walk in a room with another person and be like, you haven't necessarily done something to me, but something in my soul is telling me I shouldn't get close to you, or that I shouldn't really, you know, chill with you too often. Okay. Why is this High Priestess here? We have the Hanged Man in the reverse. Your soul is very aware that there's something that is not meant for you in your life and that, you know, you shouldn't be there. Let's pick up these cards that dropped. Let's get one more card here. Six of Cups. So whatever this was, you guys decided to put it in the past. It's something that just didn't feel right. And, you know, I don't see this as anything necessarily malicious. All right, maybe it's just something that it just wasn't going with your flow. And, you know, I've been feeling a huge awakening for a lot of Taurians lately. So when that happens, there's just going to be things and people from your past that you're no longer attached to, you're no longer drawn to, you're no longer impressed by. So keep moving up, guys. Whatever it is you have to do to move up, okay? We have the Knight of Wands in the reverse and the Ace of Cups in the reverse. So maybe this is something that, you know, maybe it's a friend that was very unstable, okay? You know, they like to party a lot, but they don't necessarily do anything helpful for you. Or maybe it was someone that was promiscuous that tried getting back into your life, or you tried getting back into theirs for a moment, but then you're deciding this is not a good idea, I should let it go because it brings way too many problems. For some of you, maybe it was a fire sign, a Leo, Aries, or a Sagittarius, okay? All right. So in the present moment, the first card that we have here is the Seven of Swords. So possibly someone keeping a secret, or you guys just trying to do something and not advertise it, not market it just yet. Why is the Seven of Swords here for Taurus? We have the Five of Wands. Okay, so something that's being kept secret, maybe these secrets are causing a lot of, you know, a lot of fighting, arguing, a sense of someone feeling like they're in competition with someone else. And you have the Ten of Wands in the reverse, so you're not interested. Anything that has bullshit, anything where people are bickering and arguing, even if it's something that's going to disappoint you or break your heart, you just don't want the burden of it. So I just see you guys releasing anything problematic right now, which is very, very good. Okay, now at the center of this reading, we have the King of Cups. So this is what everything connects to. So maybe for some of you, there's a very important water sign, a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio in your life. Okay, but this is usually someone very charismatic, very loving, who's within, you know, who has good power, and, you know, they're just really loved by people around them. But let's see why they're showing up in our reading. We have the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. You feel that maybe something is a waste of time and effort with this person. And you have the Two of Wands. Okay. So there is something here that maybe you had a lot of passion here, but you just don't see it as something worth it. Okay. For a lot of you, I feel like there's something that you're excited about, or a person that just stirs your emotions in a good way, and it doesn't have to be romantic. Okay. But you still know that there's too much fakeness and dishonesty here, so you still let it go. You have the Ace of Wands in the reverse and Three of Cups in the reverse. For some of you, maybe this was a temptation to cheat in a relationship, or to just go forward with things in a way that your soul didn't feel good with. The Three of Cups in the reverse could also be someone who's within a group, like a social group, and you fall out of that. You just don't want to be part of it anymore. Or this could be someone who's kind of in solitude and really wants to stay home. But with the Queen of Cups in the reverse, if there is someone that you are dropping, I see them really being affected by it, okay? But again, you guys are just going with your own flow, so sometimes we don't even have the explanation as to why we drop people, okay? Me, myself, in this whole awakening process, guys, I'm telling you, I have so many people angry with me, and they think I'm like the biggest bitch on earth, and they didn't necessarily do anything to me, and I didn't necessarily do anything to them. It's just I chose to move away from it because it wasn't clicking anymore. So sometimes we have to do that, and sometimes there's not a good explanation, but the best explanation in the world to me, and something that satisfies me as an explanation, is I just don't feel it. All right? And we can save ourselves so much stress and agony if we just listen to that tiny voice saying ugh when we talk to a person. Okay, so always listen to that. Now, the last card that we have here is the Two of Pentacles in the reverse, okay? So a decision that you make that brings you balance. Why is this Two of Pentacles in the reverse here? I'm being such a Taurus right now because, like, part of me is like, what am I going to order for dinner tonight? I love food. Like, if you want to win me over, just cook me a good meal with some steak and, like, rice and beans. And all right, back to the reading. Sorry. Okay, so we have the Eight of Swords. So with the Eight of Swords, there's something that you feel really made you stuck, something that's in your mind that it's like, I can't move past this for whatever reason. And with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, this would have had a very negative hit on your life. For some of you, maybe it's a Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini, or honestly, I just feel like this is the energy of, you know, that you may have towards something where it's like, look, I have to cut this off because this is detrimental to the path that I'm trying to take in life. So you're just letting, you know, whatever is the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse go. For others of you, maybe there is a Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini in your life that does bring you balance, where you feel like you could expand around this person, okay? But, you know, definitely something that had to be let go of. Let's pull one more card here. All right, that flew out. Let's see what this is about. All right, so you have the Ten of Swords, a harsh or abrupt ending, something that you have to drop that maybe you're a bit stuck on, but whether this was a betrayal or, you know, something that just ends harshly or abruptly, there's definitely a completion with something in your life, okay? Now, moving into the future, the first card that we have is the Chariot. Good. Whatever this is, whether, you know, you cause someone pain or they cause you pain, you just take off. You know, you're completely in control of your destiny moving forward. If it's not a literal move that you guys are making, maybe a new job, a new house you're going to, a new apartment, maybe moving out of state or just traveling, vacationing. So if this doesn't have to do with actual travel, then this is just you finally taking the steering wheel of your life. I'm not saying finally, maybe you always were in, you know, the driver's seat, but now you're continuing on your path. So I see you guys building in an unapologetic way. Power to you. Power to you. It's going to be a strong time for Taurus. We went through a lot of shit a few years ago, and I feel like Taurus was the sign that, and I'm not saying it because I'm a Taurus, it's just I spoke to a lot of Tauruses, and I feel like we got hit probably the hardest, okay? And now this is redemption time. This is time for us to really make things happen. And I said it a long time ago, but I'll say it again for those who are new. But the next 7 years, specifically for Taurians, all right, is going to be the biggest come up, the biggest setup. If you've been wanting to write a book, you need to write it. If you want to start a business, you need to start it. If you want to go after that person that you're not sure if they want you, shoot your shot. Whatever it is you want to do, the universe is strongly in our favor right now. So do not let these 7 years go to waste. Really make something happen. And I get chills because I feel it coming, and you guys, you're part of this. You get it, okay? All right, so we have the Page of Wands. So this is going to be something that you're very passionate about, a new idea coming in, something creative that's coming in for you. And you're going to take off running with this. Okay, you have the King of Swords. So for some of you, again, maybe there's a Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini that's going to be part of this journey. but there's going to be a huge change here where you guys really have to let someone or something go in order for you guys to find balance in your life and be able to build. Okay, so that tough decision you have to make, that's why this fell out before. Okay, because you're going to make that decision. Why is this Two of Swords in the reverse here? Okay, we have the Strength card and we have the Lovers card. So if you are in a relationship, if there's been any problems, I see you guys really being a unit, really being strong. Okay, really doing this thing together. For others of you, maybe this is you getting into a relationship. If this has nothing to do with love, and you know, maybe you guys are either not seeing anyone, or you know this just doesn't relate in regards to love, then this is you really becoming in tune to a very, very strong calling for you. Okay, something that it's like you can have this love affair with it, where it's just like, I love what I do and this is what I want to build. This could also be finally looking in the mirror and saying, oh my God, I love you, just to yourself. And once you get to that place, nothing can tear you down once you have that unapologetic self-love. Okay, now with the Five of Cups in the reverse, any sort of pain that you went through, any sort of suffering you went through, anything that you felt a loss over, you're getting over that, you're getting past it. Why is this Five of Cups in the reverse here? You have the Magician in the reverse. Okay, let's pull one more card to see what this wants to tell us. And the Queen of Wands in the reverse. Okay. So y'all make a bold move. Somebody's cut out. Somebody's rejected. Somebody's not allowed in your life anymore. And they're pissed. Okay, but at the same time, there's also a lot of manipulation coming from this person, okay, or from this job, or from this project that you were working on. So you guys are over it. Someone's mad that you realize that they're fucking up somehow. All right, for some of you, maybe it's a Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius. For others of you, that's just the energy they're going to be taking, because the Queen of Wands in the reverse is someone who's just like a passionately angry diva. Okay, and it doesn't have to be female or male. I have a lot of guys out there like, well, how does that pertain to me? Because that's a female. I know a lot of men who are divas, and I'm not just talking about like drag queens and like all our fabulously gay men. I'm talking about straight out of the gym, you know, these husky looking like men who are so sensitive, okay? So this could be anybody here. Nothing against the gays. I love you guys so much. You guys give me so much life. Alright guys, so let's see what's going on in regards to guidance here. Alright. So I am using Oracle of Visions by Caro Marchetti. My absolutely favorite artist when it comes to anything related to tarot. Alright, so let's see what's in store. What guidance does the sign of Taurus need for mid-August to mid-September 2018? Ooh, alright. Okay. Y'all are not playing. Alright, now, I love us so much. I don't think you guys understand how proud I am to be a Taurus, okay? Now, the energy that we have here at the bottom of the deck, this is actually like one of the cards I do know, because this is a new Oracle deck for me, but number 43. Now you see someone kind of in the mirror, and this card is talking about like self-love, self-obsession sometimes, just really being into yourself. Like you can see how this girl is like, you know, I'm so feeling myself right now. So what this card really, really talks about is that it's very good to get into a place where you really, you know, just display a huge amount of self-love, of just looking at yourself and just being so proud of what you're doing and, you know, what it is that you're able to put out in the world. But it just warns against too much self-love, you know, gluttony, anything like that, where you're kind of just full of yourself and people around you feel it and they're like, oh my God, I can't be around this. But these are the cards that you guys got, and what I love here is that this card right here is why I bought this deck. This was the only card I saw, and I said, I need to have it. And when I read you the explanation, because that's the first thing I did when I got it, I read the explanation of this, and I'm like, oh my God, I love it. And we have number 30, Okay, this was number 16 for anyone who's in numerology, and then 43 for the energy. But for number 30, it's kind of like you have Little Red Riding Hood here. All right, so let's see how this ties in together, because it's going to be very beautiful here. So let's look at, we'll start with number 30. Let's talk about that card first. Danger, fear. Avoiding danger is no safer in the long run than outright exposure. The fearful are caught as often as the bold. In the darkness, our fears feed from us and grow. Our imaginations nourish them and give them form. In return, they can weaken us further or trigger our defenses. This scene, a clear take on Little Red Riding Hood, reinforces the concept that danger may not always be obvious. It may be hidden or disguised. In some cases, we are utterly fooled or taken by surprise and will suffer the consequences, but very often we have a sense that all is not right, that something is out of place. Our basic instincts are triggered and our senses are alerted. And this time for caution or boldness? Is all as it should be? Is he all that he claims to be? Is the offer too good to be true? And that goes right into alignment with the reading, where it shows that there's something that your soul is just not at ease with. And for some of you, you might not know why. You might not understand why. But that's your soul talking to you. Okay? You don't need tarot. You don't need psychics. You don't need any of this. This is fun guidance. I get that. But when you're in a room with someone and there's just that, oh, you have to listen to that. Even if you can't explain it, we all have that gut instinct to avoid that danger. Okay, so that's very, very powerful, because, you know, I do see a lot of boldness coming from the Taurian, because it says, are we fearful right now, or do we act boldly? You guys are acting boldly, because you saw something that just didn't feel right, that just didn't look right. Maybe this person's messed with you a lot in the past in a negative way. Maybe you've been dealing with the boss that's unappreciative of who you are, and you don't feel yourself growing in that company or within that job. So now it's time to be bold and look that wolf in the face and say, I'm not afraid of you. Come at me. Okay? Now, my baby, my favorite card ever. I'm so happy it came out. Okay? So again, this is number 16. And we have distance, isolation, perspective. Distance not only gives nostalgia, but perspective and maybe objectivity. Physical distance or emotional detachment serve to give us a greater comprehensive view. Distance may also provide a clearer overall perspective than a close-up would. From this vantage point, we can often get the big picture and reach different conclusions. A solitary woman strolls a desolate beach, her isolation providing a point of reflection. Distanced from the influence of others, this is a scene of personal contemplation. The floating monoliths provide perspective and suggest the distances with greater emphasis than would an empty sky. Perhaps representing issues in her life, their distance reinforces her isolation, but may also provide her with a perspective and clarity of vision that she is seeking. We need to strike a balance when asserting a situation. Are we too closely involved, or should we step back? And that is exactly what you guys did. You looked at the eyes of the wolf, or whoever was going to be detrimental to the path that you're supposed to be on, and you said, look, I'm going to be bold. I know that this is something that's not going to work for me. And now that I've completely taken a step back, I can look at all of this as a whole and it's like, whoa, now everything makes sense. Now I know why this wasn't working out for me. Now I know why the blockage was there. Now I know why, you know, I have to just completely divert from the way that I was going before. So this is good, because you guys might kind of take a time to retreat and to be in your own isolation, but it's because you know that there's something that's bigger than you that's going to be taking over your life now. Okay, you're going to be going towards something big, and this is not something that could be done with everyone. All right, when you're onto the path where you're doing something big, or you're on a path where there's just a huge calling, you're going to fall off with a lot of people. You're going to have a lot of fallouts, because people who do big things don't necessarily have a large crowd. You know, these people that you see as very, very wealthy and, you know, just doing so much stuff in life, they probably don't have a lot of close people, and that's kind of the sacrifice that we have to make at times. Not saying that things are going to be like that forever, because I truly feel if you fall into the alignment of what you're supposed to do, you'll meet people when you're up there that are on the same alignment that you're in, and that's where you form those close friendships. So right now, you guys have to really just detach yourself from something that does not feel like you anymore. And you know what, right now, be a little full of yourself, okay? I'm not saying go out there and just be like, oh, I'm the hottest shit on earth, although you should have that attitude within you, but try to do it in like a humble way where you're not going to like be distasteful towards other people, all right? But also be unapologetic about how you view yourself in such a powerful way, okay? And again, that's something that I myself am in the process of, because I am who I am, and I have to be who I am unapologetically. And you know, it was just like little things. Like I had people like, yo, your taste in music sucks, or you know, this about you I don't like. And it's just like I was feeling bad for who I was as a person, and I'm like, who the hell makes me feel bad for who I am? So the moment I distance myself from any energy like that, and I'm just like dancing to my own tune, that's when all these offers and opportunities came into my life, and I'm like, oh my goodness. Okay. And funny story, you know, just to tie all of this together, when I moved to Florida, because it was about like 2.5 years ago, I had spent so much time working because, you know, I came from New York. I grew up there, right in Westchester County, if anyone's familiar with it. But for those New Yorkers, you know, that are watching, you know, shit's not easy. If you're not working, you know, a lot of hours or in a super high paying job, you're going to be paycheck to paycheck, okay? Or you're going to have to just go above and beyond to make ends meet. And I was always just so tired, and there was days I would be sick that I could not afford to take that day off. I'm like, yo, if I call out today, I will not be able to pay my phone bill. I have to go to work. I have no choice. So I wasn't able to sleep because I was just so anxious. So, you know, something happened, and I just got really, really upset because someone came into my life and they really just threw me off course in a very negative way. So I ended up losing everything. Like within a week, I lost my car. I lost my beautiful apartment that I lived in, and I had no choice. I had to go back to my parents' house because I have a son that depends on me, and I couldn't be out there broke. If I was by myself, I would have made it happen. But, you know, now I have to make sure my son's eating. So I moved to Florida, guys. I made the decision to move to Florida, and I was in Florida like 4 days later. Like, it happened like that, and everybody was just shocked that I left so quickly. So when I came out here, my dad and my mom were like, okay, you have to find work. You got to do this. You got to do that. And I'm like, guys, with all due respect, you know, I know that I'm part of your household right now, but let me get like at least a month to just not work and to just chill and just be more myself. And so I took that month off, and it was so good because I was able to get back into fitness. I was able to be me all over again. And, you know, when I did start looking for work, my dad's just like, no, just do it. It doesn't matter what the job is, just do it. And I'm like, look, I can't do something I don't love that. I will end up quitting within a week. And he's like, no, you just have to go. So I listened to him. And I went to this place. The moment I walked in there, it was a call center selling like, what was it? Trying to get you on those vacations where they're like, oh, you want a free trip, and then you get there and you have to go through like a timeshare, you know, thing where they try to, you know, sell you a timeshare. So I hated it. I hated the work. It was very deceptive work. You know, I had people yell at me all day, and my dad's like, look, just do it. You're getting a paycheck. So I'm like, It got to the point where the guy, he wanted to fire me because I just did not give a fuck. And so I told my dad, I'm like, yeah, I'm not going back. And he's like, I can't believe you're not going back. And he was yelling, and I'm like, look, just let me chill. What's meant for me will just happen. But if I'm at something like this, it's going to make me tired. I'm not going to want to come home and work on my vision. I'm not going to want to come home and, you know, do what I'm meant to do in life. So let me just chill, and I promise you it'll all be worth it. Okay? And things happened, and there's just a lot of chaos. And then one day I'm on YouTube, and I found tarot. I was just looking to see what's going on, you know, with my sign. I was looking for horoscopes more than anything. And the second I started watching it, there's just readers that moved me in such a way. And because I was going through such a hard time, like, it just brought me to tears. And I'm just like, yo, I can totally do this. And it got to the point, because I was so obsessed with watching it, that I'm like, you know what? This person had the right cards, but they explained it wrong. And the moment I found myself, you know, kind of just correcting readers on YouTube. I'm like, you know what? Nah, I have to do this on my own. So that's when I opened it, and oh my God, my life changed. And my parents, who were so upset with me, I kind of came to them, I'm like, here's your money. You know, all that money that I gave you, here you go. And not that not the money I gave them, but the money that they had to kind of like put up front for me to cover my expenses. So and that's not to brag. That's just me saying that nothing in this world will bring you more money than your passion. Okay? So if you're going into something because it's going to make you a lot of money, or because your parents want you to do it, or this is just what society says is the best thing to do, you're probably going to end up being really, really miserable. I don't care if there's a job paying $500,000 a year. If you don't like it, then that money's not going to mean anything to you at the end of the day, because money is exciting in the beginning, but then it gets to the point where you're still who you are. Even millionaires are depressed, so you can't go by that. But if you find something that you love, I don't care if it's video games. You know how much people get paid to test video games? Over $100,000 a year to sit on your ass and play video games. Like, that's fucking awesome. So I don't care what it is. If you want to smoke weed and like just put it out into the world, open a marijuana plant. Okay, that's becoming legalized. You know, anything that you love, guys, there's a way to make money from it. So the reason why I say that is because I'm just so happy that, sorry, I just want to pick this up since I was throwing money, but I'm just so happy that I took that route, and things that did not feel right for me, I just cut it out of my life. And I'm just like, no, this is not me. And at first I was actually very, very ashamed of what I did, because, you know, my family is hardcore Catholics. Like, my parents are in church, like, I'm not exaggerating, guys. They're in church like 5 days a week, and they're like, we're praying for you, and we hope that, you know, God takes you away from this evil thing that you're doing. And I'm just like, I'm laughing, and I'm just like, guys, I love what I do. I'm not evil because I'm spiritual and choose not to follow a very, very strict religion. It's just that religion to me is a box, and I've never fit into a box. And anything I've ever done in life, and you guys will get this because this is just a Taurus thing, if we don't like something, we're not going to last long in it. Okay? So, I mean, I'll make a video on my views on religion and just Catholicism in general in the future. Nothing against it, but there's just a lot of misconception, especially with tarot. And you know what? I'll give you guys a little piece of this just so that you can understand my viewpoint. I can't believe I'm getting into this. I'm talking so much, but I feel like a lot of people should know this. And, you know, I've been asked this a lot because I have people that they're like, wait, how do you do this? Because, you know, our families are so religious and I want to do it and I don't want to be looked at badly. The truth about religion, you know, especially just with Catholicism in general, and I know a lot of people are going to talk shit about this, but, you know, I did my research heavily, is that around the time when Christianity was being spread, you know, Christian crusades, all of that, and, you know, FYI, that is the biggest massacre to this day that the world has ever seen. Okay, if you were against Catholicism, woman, man, child, you were killed, you were slaughtered. So at the time where it was really, really growing, basically there was a lot of money coming into the church. Guys, this is a big business. To this day, you know, religion is the biggest money-making business in the world. So at the time where you started hearing, oh, you know, you have to be against false prophets, people like me who did tarot, people who were like Nostradamus, and they, you know, had these visions and they were prophets and all of this, it wasn't that it was evil. It was literally just taking money away from the church. That's literally all it is. So if you have Bible thumpers at your door saying you're going to hell because you watch tarot, it literally has nothing to do with anything bad. Okay, there are so many prophets in the Bible. I can't believe I'm even talking about this. Like, how does this have to do with anything? But I just felt compelled to tell it. But yeah, anything that went against making money for the church, it just was something that was taboo. So all these years later, people look at it and they're like, that's evil. And I'm like, do your history. So that's why I just choose to be very spiritual within myself, because my connection to this universe is not a lie. The peace I feel within myself is not a lie. If I'm a terrible person for doing what I love when I'm literally not harming anyone, like all I do is guide people all day, and I give them comfort and I give them love, and we figure out each other's lives together, like how can that be bad? So that's what I see. And that's why when, you know, I have people attacking me, for not doing things that just don't feel right within me, I just brush it off, guys, because you have to do what you love. And that's how this all wraps up around, you know, just going for what it is that you love. And if there's something that just feels wrong, and if it just feels forced, don't let people feel bad. And if there's going to, you know, if you decide not to go a certain path in your life, or not to follow a certain, you know, belief, and people treat you like crap before, you know, because of it, that has a lot more to do with them than to you. I love gay people. I love, you know, I love smoking from time to time, you know, and I think weed is something that God put on this earth, so, you know, it's the most medicinal thing on the planet, so why is it so bad? And there's just little things like that, that it goes against a lot of faiths, and so I'm just like, it doesn't harm anyone, okay? Who's ever overdosed on bud? But anyways, I'm so off topic, but hopefully somebody gets something out of that. Now, I'll shut up. And for anybody that wants to follow me, my Instagram is highvibrations44. And in regards to personal readings, guys, I've been telling you over and over again, I'm still catching up from the summer. I took a lot of time off in July, so that really set me back. And then I had a lot of readings come in. So I really want to be realistic with the time, you know, of how I get these out. So any standard reading that you guys get on my website, which is in the description, is going to be a 3 to 4 week wait. So if you can wait that, perfect. And if anything changes, you know, in the time that you're waiting, you can email me, and then, you know, I'll update what the reading is going to be on. But if you guys absolutely have to hear from me very quickly, then you have 3 options. 2 of them are right on my website. You can get an emergency reading. You'll hear from me within about 48 hours, excluding Sundays. So do not count Sunday as a wait day. That's just my day to chill with fam. And then there are same-day questions on my website as well. It's $10. You ask just one question, you know, is this a good job for me to take? Am I going to be here by next year? And I'll answer it. I'll send you a 2 or 3 minute video just like this one, and we'll look into what's going on with you. And then the third option for my iPhone users out there, there is an app I'm on called Instant Go, where you guys can text me a question and just go straight into texting the question, okay? Because it does charge you per character, so just go directly into the question and I'll send you a text answer. You can also call me on that app, but until I'm caught up with the clients I already have, I'm not taking on any new calls for that app. I'm just doing the questions on that app, okay? So you're probably not going to reach me. The last thing I did want to say, because a lot of people have been confused with my website, I use a Wix platform for my website, and it does not allow me to sell my services without a calendar. So there have been people that, you know, and this is a true story, where somebody booked a reading, you know, at 8 o'clock in the morning, but they booked it for 8:15. Okay, and it was a standard reading, one that takes weeks to get back. So they assumed that I was going to call them 15 minutes after their purchase. My ass was sleeping. I was like, you know, in deep hibernation. And I woke up around 9 o'clock to such a nasty email. Like, I was getting cursed out so badly, and I'm just like, oh my God, like, relax. So the time, you don't go by it at all. Just select any time on the calendar. It does not matter. And you will hold a spot. Okay? So yeah, so don't look at the calendar. If it's a standard reading, you'll get it within 3 to 4 full weeks. If it's an emergency reading, you'll hear from me within 2 days. If it's a same day question, you hear from me in about 24 hours. But if it's the weekend, give me up to 48 hours, because I like to have fun, and me and tequila have a great relationship, and I don't want to leave tequila behind, because tequila has always been there for me. Feel me? Alright guys, I will shut up. I love you guys. I love you, squad. Hopefully I didn't lose any of you on that religious talk, but just speaking my mind today. And you guys are my home base, so hopefully a lot of you understand where I am coming from. Okay? Take care, guys.